Welcome to the newest episode in the Masterclass series. Masterclasses are a fantastic way to quickly learn by watching others learn. You can efficiently digest many of a fantastic instructor's best ideas in an environment that doesn't include being stressed about your own playing. Over time, I hope to have a library of masterclasses that includes many of the most commonly played pieces, so you can find a masterclass on the piece you are working on. These are longer videos, so I'm eager to hear in the comments if this is something that is valuable to you. Today's guest likely needs no introduction. If you found my channel, you've no doubt seen a lot of Tobiah Murphy on his channel, Murphy Music Academy. I've been very impressed with the content from Tobiah and really respect him as a player and pedagogue. Just in case you haven't seen his channel already, I've included a link to it in the description. My students and I learned a lot from this masterclass, and I found myself referencing ideas from it often during my lessons. I hope it proves as useful to you as it has for me.
Okay. All right, very good. So I'm actually going to start where I left off and talk about how you're standing. All right. So I'm not against moving while playing, but I almost am. Right? Because it has to be a bit more natural, right? It can't be a nervous tick, right? It can't be something that we're doing to, and it can't take us off center, right? So, also, is your bow tight enough?
Yeah.
Let me see. Okay.
That's about how I usually play the leash.
Okay. I mean that's right at the level, bare minimum, I would say. I don't want the bow to be too tight either. But again, half the time it looks like the wood is in direct contact with the string. So we might be thinking, talk a little bit about your sound production as well. Okay. So, and forgive me, I haven't looked at the music since I was 12, I think. So, right, so if you're moving a lot, right, it's going to be very difficult to get that, what we were talking about earlier with the arm weight in the sound, and everything else is going to be unstable too. So I want you to play quite slowly, no faster than what I just did. You can even fudge with the tempo if you want. Okay, stand very still. Spread your. There we go. All right, bend your knees a little. Don't lock up. Don't lock up. If you're going to do anything, do this. All right, not this much, but if you're going to do anything, do this. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Has anyone ever seen Midori play live? No, she almost does that. It's amazing. I don't know how she does it. It's a little distracting, but she's so good she can get away with it. But yeah, I've seen her almost do a full-on back bend before. Okay, very good, very good. All right, now just play the first note for me without moving. Okay, right. Now play the other notes just like that.
All right. That seems to play better.
Okay, very good, very good, very good. Okay, so already that has helped your stability. The sound quality is already much better. Now we want to make sure that there's nothing else that is throwing off your stability. So for instance, your shift, okay? What is keeping you stable during the shift?
Like the hand part? Everything?
You have to tell me.
Alright.
This is a question that has a right answer, and I want to see if you get it. What is keeping your hand stable, or what should be, rather?
My thumb.
Your thumb! They're good. All right. Right answer again,
You're
right?
talking about like my knees again.
No. No, during your thumb, or at least it should be, right? Because if you shift and the thumb is not involved, especially because you're playing without a shoulder rest. Now this is true if you're playing with a shoulder rest, but if you're not playing with one, it's especially true, right? If the thumb is not completely involved in the support of the violin during that shift, then there's nothing stable for the bow to work against. And that's what I'm hearing. So could we just practice that shift? And take your time, right? I want to hear that stability all the way through the shift. Okay, very nice, very nice. That's better. Why did you torque your arm in front of the fiddle for sixth position? Is that necessary?
No, it's not.
I didn't think so. When you get up here, obviously you have to do that, but there's a lot less you have to do for just going into the sixth position from third position. Huh?
Then my hand's in different shape than it was before, though.
No, it's actually would be staying the same shape, right? If your hand moves in this direction, it's a much more consistent shape. If we come all the way over here, then actually it's actually much more. It's in a much different shape, which sometimes is necessary. But I want you to humor me. Humor me. Just move your hand in a straight line like this. Slower. Beautiful. And by the way, it's going to be more consistently in tune. Okay, slower. That's going to work for you a lot better. Now, actually, this is a much more leveraged position for the thumb. Like if we're over here, this is good for passage work because the fingers have to work around each other. Here, where we have a lot more space between the fingers, the thumb being further back. There's a lot more leverage for the fingers there. Okay? Good. I don't want to mess with your fingerings too much. What are your thoughts about once you shift to sixth position, not changing that? Just keeping it. Yeah, what do you... Well, I mean, again, I don't want to mess with your fingerings too much, but that might... I'm a big fan of not doing more than I have to. All right?
I kind of like it to be.
Okay, good. Well, let's try it. It works. Let's try it again from the beginning. Nice.
It's also if I forgot the F sharp was like right next to G or something when I was.
Is that your fingering?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because if it's David's fingering, I don't want to mess with it too much. But Okay. All right, very good, very good. Okay, so the same idea. Again, we need that stability with the shape of the hand and the thumb. Okay, that sounded much better than what you did before. Again, everything's much more level.
Sorry, what was that last?
Everything's much more stable now. Good. That works too. Not the finger I thought of, but then you have to shift here, right? So that works too. So long as you keep yourself stable, I think a lot of what you were doing before works. But if you're all over the place and you're not also thinking about the direction that your hand is traveling, then again, a lot of your good work falls through a bunch of cracks that you've made, right? Right there, please. Da, 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 dum. Go on. Okay, good, very good, very good. I don't think you need to play quite, whoops. I don't think you need to play that heavy. That didn't sound quite as good. Otherwise, it was quite nice. Same thing, one more time. Nice, keep going. Keep going, keep going. Okay, same thing. Okay, so we have all these double stops. Once again, straight motion here, right? And then the bow doesn't really... That's an up bow for you, right?
It's a what?
That was an up bow. Yeah, okay. So you have the advantage of the frog. You don't need to force the sound, right? I think I actually heard David say that to you before the whole thing started, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, so usually it's always, when you tell a student something, they've heard it before, right? Okay, so no excuses. All right, right there. Bum, ba-da-ya, let it play itself. Very nice, very nice. And this next section, the tempo you've chosen is not a particularly fast tempo, which is good, actually, I think, musically speaking. I want you to really engage with that. I know it says leggero there, but if you're going to go at the slow tempo, really, like allow itself to kind of have that weight to it. Yum, up, up, bum, right? You kind of play like you're, like, this is kind of where I'm stuck, right? Instead of really engaging with the musicality at this tempo. If somebody plays this very fast, it's a lot different. But if yum, up, 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 bum, right? It's a little bit different when you play it at this tempo. Okay? Some of the bum, ba yum, and go on to that section. Keep your time. Okay, really throw the bow. Really throw the bow. I know it says piano, but nobody cares, right?
You want me to start from right there?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, very good, very good. That's better. Now, this is for something completely else that you can do on your own. Do you practice your spiccato stroke in scales?
Yeah.
Good.
It's not very good.
Okay, well, it'll get better if you keep doing it. Okay, well, that's good. Then it'll get better. Right? If you actually are practicing in scales, then I'm not worried about it. Right? If you said no, then I said, well, you need to do that. But if you are practicing in your scales, like consistently, this will get better. That was already better, right? That was already better. Okay, let's go on to the next part. The octaves, which I'm not going to try to play with. Okay, good. Okay, I lied. Okay, so the fingered octaves there. Not fun. Do you practice fingered octaves?
I started practicing when I started playing.
Okay, good. That's also the correct answer. Good. Okay, so the thing with fingered octaves, this is where we want to have a much broader shape to the hand, right? You got to learn how to do it without squeezing. That's really difficult. Because then you still want to have that, as I said at the very beginning of this masterclass, the sensation of the dropping of the fingers. If we're squeezing too hard, you ever see your fingers do that, right, when you're playing fingered octaves? Yeah, if you're squeezing too hard, one, it's going to be very difficult to get the fingers to hit the strings at the same time, but also it's going to be very hard to play in tune. Right? So could you just start? Just on that one, and just practice the motion of those fingers, and I want you to play as lightly as you possibly can. Okay, good. Look at the shape of your hand, right? And look at mine. Look how much more angular your fingers are. My fingers are much more flat, right? So what I'm trying to do, and this does take some time, I don't expect you to get this today. What I'm trying to do when I play fingered octaves is I basically want my hand shape to be roughly the same as it would be if I was playing in a normal hand frame, and then I just slightly spread out my fingers like this. Right? And then this I actually do bring my elbow a little more forward, because what that does is that brings the fingers at a more perpendicular angle to the strings, and it's much easier to spread your fingers out this way than this way. Right? So when it comes to fingered octaves, it's not a lot. I'm not moving my hand that much forward. But it's just enough to where my hand has a much more broad, and that's much more loose. All right, just try. Okay, put down 1 and 3. Put down 1 and 3. Put down 1 and 3. Good. Can you swing, since you do know how to do this, swing your fingers around so that the fingers are a little more long. 1 and 3 are more elongated. Like that. No. Can you make your hand like this shape? Pull. Yes. Yeah. Okay. That's too much. But that's the idea, right? So again, I'm a little bit more in front like this. I have this broader shape to the fingers, and then it's much easier. Okay, you can work on it. When you that's a little better. I would experiment a lot, especially when you're practicing in scales, right? See if you can find a shape. Sometimes it can be helpful to actually hold your violin like a guitar, because we naturally bring our hand more this way, and sometimes we can find that more elongated, perpendicular feeling rather than this angular feeling, which forces our fingers, especially the third and fourth fingers, into a really tight spot. Okay, how are we doing on time? About there. Okay, there was one more thing I wanted to go over. Could you take a little more? Same one thing I was talking about with the spiccato, right? Enjoy it, right? Enjoy it. You're going too much. You're going too fast. Really, yum, bum. But milk that slow tempo a little bit more, right? Okay, good. Can we focus on the beginnings of the notes? Right? Earlier I was talking about the ends of the notes. There's too much of that, so. Can we have a little bit more just straightforward sound at the beginning of the notes? Don't overplay, don't over-vibrate. Okay, you notice your vibrato always happens after the beginning of the note. Yeah, okay, that's what I'm talking about, right? So, that's what we want at the beginning. All right, we just need that just right at the beginning, and then the rest of the note will play itself. All right, try it again. Good. Can you cut your vibrato in half?
What?
Can you cut your vibrato in half?
Yeah.
Okay. Ideally, without losing all of your sound. Okay, so we're about out of time, but something I would really encourage for you to do is learn the vibrato has to be separate, not just from the bow, but also from the fingers. Right? The vibrato is a hand motion, not a finger motion. So you have to be able to control this separately from this, and then definitely separately from this. Like if you change your vibrato, you shouldn't change a darn thing in your bow arm. Right? So that's just a part of violin playing where we just have to learn how to have all separate control over first, of course, left and right hemispheres, and then over the individual joints. Right? So that's just something I'm going to leave you with. If you do figure that out, a lot of this will become a lot more straightforward. Right? But in the meantime, very good job. Learn to stand still. All right, thank you so much. All right. Very nice, very nice. Quick question. Do you always play it that fast? Or are you nervous?
Usually faster.
Usually faster. Okay, all right. I'm going to suggest you play it slower, actually, all right? Okay, so we're going to get into some other things, but could you do the beginning? And I don't know, maybe what about... Maybe just a little bit more measured. Maybe. Oh, sorry, with piano, with piano. Okay, very nice, very nice. Okay, thank you. Okay, so generally, okay, first thing, we never want to play something faster than we can handle everything, right? Secondly, when you're in a performance, pulling back even just a couple of clicks on the metronome, it won't make any difference to the audience, right? It really won't. It will make a difference to you, right? If you're just a little, now that was quite a bit slower, I made you go quite a bit slower. However, even if you had pulled back just a hair from what you did in your performance, they would not really necessarily hear it as being much slower. But you'll feel a lot better, especially if you're used to practicing something faster. Okay. The second thing I want to talk about is just more of a general thing you're playing. Is that again there's a lot of very good things in your playing, a lot of good energy. I think your approach to this should be a lot more organized. So, for instance, you don't always know exactly where third position is, right? So your hand, you don't. So your hand, right, has to map out, right? And you're just starting to get into this because this is one of the first pieces to introduce shifting. So has to map out exactly where all the positions are, all right? Especially as you start getting into other higher positions or eventually second position. You have to have a pretty good idea, just generally. Okay, I put my hand here. Like that's probably sixth position. Always know exactly where the positions are. And then the shape of your hand has to be roughly the same in most of the positions, especially I'd say going up to first to maybe fourth or fifth, right? This, what we call the hand frame. I'm sure David's talked to you about the hand frame, right? No? Never?
Have you?
Never. I can't imagine. Okay. That has to essentially remain the same. So what I'd like you to do is I want you to play B, C, and D on your A string, just 1, 2, 3. It's with a low 2, right, on your A string. Okay, we don't, no. Just nice and calm. Okay, very good. Now, you'll notice you actually lifted up your fingers as you played, right? And that can be okay sometimes. But for now, like I'm talking about, we want to organize your hand. So we actually want to keep the hand very calm and keep all the fingers down, right? Because this, as we talked about, the shape of the hand right here, that has to be maintained, right? Because we're going to then take that shape and move it into third position, right? And if your fingers are always in the same shape 99% of the time, it's going to be very easy for them to go back to the right spots every single time, right? So this is what I'm talking about, organizing our left hand. So try it again, just 1, 2, 3. Okay, good. So this is a very important thing to practice because already what have we revealed? You're actually not even quite sure exactly where first position is, right? Yeah, you had to find, you had to find it. It's okay. It's okay, we all have to go through this stuff. Right? You had to search for it a little bit, right? Okay, so let's try it again. Let's just practice finding first position again. Now here's what I want you to do. I want you to put your hand where you think first position is, okay? No, just the hand, not the finger, just the hand, right? So just put the hand where you think first position is. Good. Now, Now play B, C, D. And I don't care if the notes are out of tune. Just put the fingers down where you think they're supposed to go. Okay, no, don't fix it. Don't fix it. Good. Now it's okay. Good. Okay. So what happened? Your first finger's a little flat. Yes, it's a little flat. Okay. So now we're going to try it again. You're going to adjust your hand, the position of your hand, just a tiny bit, right? And again, do it where you think it should go. Don't adjust while you're playing. Just okay, your hand was a little out of tune this time. Maybe move the hand up slightly higher than you had it before, okay? And then once again, just very, very simply, we only want one motion for each finger. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful, beautiful, okay? Now if you were doing this by yourself, it would take less time, but even with me talking, it took 5 minutes to find a very nice left hand shape, right, for first position, okay? That, and it wouldn't take you more than a few days for that to be pretty solid, okay? So that's your foundation, right there, okay? If you don't have that, then things get a little bit iffy, okay? All right, do it again. As a matter of fact, no, take your hand off the instrument, shake it out, see if you can find it again. No vibrato, please. No vibrato. No, because what happens? What happens when you do vibrato? Right now. And that doesn't necessarily have to happen all the time you do vibrato. But what's happening right now?
It's kind of messing up with that.
Yeah, you're losing your hand shape, right? The other two fingers are gone. So just. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay. Now, take that hand shape. Keep all 3 fingers down. Don't squeeze the string because I'm going to have you, yes, exactly. Move it to third position. Good. Okay. So let's practice just going from first to third. So just, and move the hand position. No vibrato, please. No vibrato. No vibrato. Good. Now just take the hand. Straight line. Very good, very good, very good. Okay, so not only the hand shape, but the straight line, the distance between first position and third position, that just has to be something we have muscle memory for, right? Okay, so let's go back to the beginning of the piece, right? Of course, we'll be on the E string. And I just want you to practice, just do this for me, just shift without putting your fingers down, first position to third position, or at least where you think first position, third position, no playing. Good. Just nice and easy, nice and easy. Don't check it. Don't even put the finger on. Just the hand. Just the hand. Could you have more contact with the thumb on the neck of the violin? Don't just do this, right? Right? We're all playing. A lot of us are playing without shoulder rest. It looks like so. Right? We should be very comfortable. Yeah, there you go. Because you need the tactile stimulation with your hand. Your hand has to feel where you are. Okay? Can't just be going around out here. Okay? Do it again. Just practice. A little slower. All right? Good. Very good. Very good. Okay, now. Just practice landing on that note. Okay, good. So, that's something else we have to practice, right? First finger's a little high, so either you shifted too high, or your first finger wasn't in the right place within third position. Try it again. No adjusting. This is actually very important for this. You have to just accept that you put the finger in the wrong place, and then try something else the next time. Right? So you're still a little too high. Pull the finger back. Pull the finger back a little bit. Do it again. Start in first position with the hand. Good. Good. Can you put the finger down a little more firmly? Good. Okay. I want you to try shifting slightly lower Again, we're calibrating the distance, slightly lower. Do it again. Okay, again, you took too much time. Just go with where you think it is. Don't aim the hand. Just, I think it's here. I'm going to put my hand here. Closer, good, good, that was closer. Do it again, and just put the finger, good, okay, so we're still slightly high. So either pull the finger back or don't shift so high. You messed around with it. Just again, direct motion. Got to get used to direct motion. Pretty good, pretty good. Can we take a little more time? And can I hear the first finger hit the string? I didn't hear it hit the string. Yeah, but in third position. Okay, you're in fourth position right now. Okay, I'm hearing the E string. Can you hear that? Right. Good, 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 good. Okay, that's the type of finger action I want. Right? I want that confident, direct motion. Okay, so just for anyone who's wondering, the reason why I'm so adamant about just singular direct motion is because that is the only motion we get when we play, most of the time. Occasionally, if you're playing some long notes, you can adjust things. Most of the time, you don't have time to adjust. So you have to practice as if you're going to hit the correct note, right? If you do, well, that's sending a subconscious signal that you don't know where the note is, and then you're going to play as if you don't know where the note is. So even if you miss a note, play as if you're going to hit the right note every single time. And if you practice that way, your hand is actually going to figure out where everything is a lot faster, right? So once again, let's try the direct motion. Do the shift. Nice direct motion with the first finger. Okay, once again, you keep, now here's the other part of this. You keep landing a little high. So now all we're going to do is just, okay, I'm going to just try with moving the direct motion a little bit less high, right? Okay, good, 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 yes. So you went too far in the other direction, right? Now you have a better idea of where everything is. Now go somewhere in the middle. No. There it is, right? And very often, that's what happens. We go too high. Okay, don't waffle around, don't search for it. You go too high, you go too low, you figure out where the middle is. Then you have a much higher chance of doing it every single time. Try it again, put it in the middle again. No, see, yeah, you waffled. You searched for it. That's why it didn't work. Do it again. Okay, but start in first position. Again, one motion, actually two motions, the motion of the arm, motion of the finger, but one motion for each limb, okay, or each joint rather. Very good. Do it again. Okay, one more time. That didn't count because you didn't shift, but that counted. Okay, see? And by the way, you can do this for every single motion, right? Once you're in position, the finger should only have one motion going down, right? Shift again. Again, it's just one direct motion for each finger going down. When you practice, if it's too high, you aim for the finger to fall, and that's how you always want to think of your fingers. Don't place your fingers, let them fall, right? Have it fall a little lower if it's too high. If it's too low, have it fall a little lower. If it's too low, have it fall a little higher until your finger gets used to falling in the right place. Okay? All right. Now, some of the other things I want to talk. How much time do we have?
Close to time.
Close to time. Okay. Do you have your copy of your music real quick? There's one thing I want to look at. Because again, talking about. Pardon?
Yeah, I have my music.
Thank you very much. Okay, so one other thing I want to talk about here when it comes to organizing your playing. Right? All right. So this is, I think, on the second page, and this, you can practice in the exact same way. Yeah, I'll put that there. You can practice in the exact. Ooh, colorful.
did that.
Okay. So this section. Okay. So that section, when you do the bum bum bum, your bow wasn't quite sure where it was. I spent all this time on your left hand. Your bow wasn't quite sure what it was supposed to do, right? And that's another thing. Again, you just have to, when you practice, you have to think, I'm going to organize what I'm doing, right? So those are the different motions that have to be accomplished, and you have to work those out separately. There's the motion to the string, the motion of the bow, motion to the new string, motion of the bow. And if we're not clear on the difference between the motion to the new string and the motion of the bow to make the sound, then it gets messy, right? So could you just those three notes, C, A, A. Oh, find third position, you know where it is. You know where it is now. And then no, this right here, right here.
Okay.
C, A, A. It's a third finger, third finger, third finger, C, A, A. 3, A, 1. This, C. Okay, so you heard that, right? Your A didn't sound, now it's just open A, right?
Well,
Didn't hear much of a sound.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. So let's practice it very slowly. Cross the string. Do it with me, do it with me. Play the third finger. Third finger, no. I'll take that for now, okay. Good. Okay, don't take your bow off the string, right? Good, see? Yes! You practice it that way, very systematically, slowly, several times, a few days. Once you go faster, your arm will remember the muscle memory for that, and it will be clean, right? Okay, I think that's all the time we have, but thank you very much. You're doing a good job. Okay, so the very quick question. This is not just a very small thing I want to talk about first. What is the time signature of this piece?
6A, is that right?
You should. Okay. Yeah, you're right. You are absolutely right. That is a question that you should be able to answer with a little more confidence, I think, right? And the reason why am I bringing this up?
I don't know, maybe I can stay more in the tempo.
No, it has nothing to do with the tempo. You had several entrances that you missed in the middle of the piece. Actually, not so, I'll be kinder. You had about 2, I think, actually. All right. Okay. And then also in the third part of the piece, there was a note that you did not hold quite long enough, right, before moving on. So always be aware, not, of course, just obvious things like the time signature, key signature. Also be aware just exactly how long each note is. So, I mean, 6/8 you can count in 2, right? For this, it's on Dante, so I generally count in 2. But there's also a certain amount of subdivision, right, where you have to count it in 6. Right? You have to know exactly how many eighth notes. I think it was actually right here, right? You didn't hold that G long enough, I think. Right? The recording will prove my memory correct or not. But somewhere around here, you did not hold one of these longer notes that has, a tight eighth note to it long enough, right? And pianists is very good to catch you, that you always are. But that's obviously something that we don't want to have. Just basic things like that we want to make sure we have covered. All right? Okay, that is housekeeping. Now let's go into the fun stuff. Could you play the opening with no vibrato?
Okay.
And no piano, just by yourself. Very nice. Okay, it's always fascinating when we play with no vibrato. We're kind of forced. We're forced into musicality, I think. Right? Sometimes the vibrato can actually get in the way of musicality, and your vibrato is very wide, right? And I think sometimes that's good, but for a lot of this, especially something that begins so sweetly, right? Dolce, that's the very first thing that it says. It doesn't even give a dynamic marking. You could just choose, right? But it does say dolce. So when we come in, it takes a little bit of that out of it, right? So starting with no vibrato, I want you to slowly build in a hint of a whisper of the vibrato, right? So do no vibrato again at the beginning. Beautiful, beautiful. Now, I want you to just feel the tiniest bit of a shake in your... The tiniest bit of a shake in your hand, okay? Very nice. Okay, that is the bare maximum, something along those lines. That is as most as you should have. I would actually want you to do less, right? So learning how to control your vibrato would be very, very good. You should practice that a little bit more, specifically the vibrato control. You can do that in scales or something other than your pieces. But it should not, especially at the beginning, it should be nothing more than that. That sounds very, very nice. Do it again. See if you can get even less. Just a shimmer of the vibrato. Okay, very good. I like it. All right. Now let's talk about the tone quality. So when you played without vibrato, you actually had a little bit, and I see David has written "Here I Am" sound. Right? So I guess we want it to be very much forward. Okay, I agree with that. You had more of that when you played with no vibrato, right? Because again, the vibrato sometimes if we're not using it right, it lets us hide, right? So could you play it without vibrato again? And let's see then, again, if we can have that same type of sound when we add the vibrato back in. Okay, you're playing with vibrato, which is not what I asked you to do, but that was better. That was better. No, it was better. It was better. Good, good, good.
Okay.
Could you do it without, just for being thorough, can we do it without vibrato? Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, now do that, but just a little shimmer. Night and day. Night and day. That's, yeah, clap. That sounded really good. That sounded really good. Very good, very good. Okay, one other quick thing. Just, if we're trying to have a I'm immediately here type of sound, right? Just announcing my presence to the world. Should we start with our bow over the fingerboard?
Yeah. I'd say. Well, not over the fingerboard, but it should be on the string.
Okay, those are two very different things. So, you starting with your bow here, right? That's what I would do if I wanted to sneak in. Okay?
Yeah.
Which, if that's how you want to do it, that's fine. However, if we're following the instructions here, then maybe a little closer to the bridge. Yeah. Could you have a little more contact with the string? Okay, good. Yeah. So that's something I would experiment with a little bit as your sounding point, right? I don't know if you want to necessarily start that much, right? But so if you want that type of sound, right, then we're going to want to play a lot closer to the bridge, right, generally. The other side to this, in terms of your sound production, okay, is getting the feeling of using the weight of your arm into the sound. Is this something you've worked on before? Good. So I feel like we're missing that a lot, especially as you get at the tip, right? So there's something I want to work on just in terms of getting this feeling, right? I want you to place the bow on the string right at the throat, like almost right next to the metal, right? Okay, very good. Now, take your thumb off. Right? Feel the weight of your arm all the way from the shoulder, particularly. Push the fingers and therefore the bow into the string. I really feel that there. Okay? Should hold it there very nicely. Right? Okay, thumbs off. Right? Okay, now I want you to just, for a split second, and keep your thumb nearby, because we're going to put it back on. Just drop your arm. Really drop it. Again, you have to get used to. This might be a good thing to practice over like your bed or something, just because if you're scared of dropping the bow, but just like, good. Do it again. Just really feel the arm drop. Good. Now, do the same thing, but you get to keep the thumb on. And good. Do it again. Feel that weight first. Take your time. You're pulling. That's a little better. Take your time. I'll tell you when. Okay, feel the weight all the way from here. Should really get closer to the frog. Good. You should feel everything push right into the strings. Good. Now, we want a little bit of that dropping sensation at the beginning of the down bow, but then we're just going to keep that heavy shoulder. Right, that's really where our weight comes from. It's really the shoulder. Right. We should feel a stretch through here a bit. If we don't feel heaviness in the shoulder, it's not going to translate to the rest of the bow. So I want you to start with that drop, but then feel the weight follow through all the way to the tip. Good. Do it again and freeze. Freeze. Good. Okay, very good, very good. Sometimes you do that to people and they're both flies away. Okay, good, 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 good. Okay, so I'm not always hearing that, right, in the music. It's much easier to do it on an open string. Not always hearing that in the music. So something I would suggest, just to really make sure you're getting that feeling, is overplay a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So again, this is going to sound a little ugly, but that's all right. So. Just let the whole arm really hang into the string. No musical considerations. Just hold the whole time. Just keep. Okay, good. So when you hear some of the breaks in the sound, right? That's usually because your arm muscles are wanting to take over, right? So again, there's a difference between that press sound and the just too much arm weight, right? But right now we want too much arm weight, okay? Do it again, do it again. There we go. Okay, not bad. I think we lost a little bit of it in there, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. You should play through the entire thing this way. Again, it's purely for practice. Purely for practice. Obviously, we don't perform this way. But that's the feeling you need, right? And especially, I think, when you get up to some of these higher notes, like the right? We want that power. That's not very difficult if you feel the weight of the arm up there. If you're trying to press the bow into the string, then it's very difficult to create that sound, right? Could you try it there? Just right there. Okay. Why do we completely reset our violin? Do you have to do that? Okay, good. Not bad. Okay, much better, much better. Do you have to have your hand like this?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so. So again, your vibrato, you can rethink how your vibrato works, right? You don't always have to be right on the tip, especially as you're getting up to higher positions, right? So the more flat your finger is like this, you can still get a very good vibrato stroke, and because there's a stretch that's involved, right? You're not in. It's a stretch out of the position you came from, right? So. Now, can you keep your first finger down? Yes. Okay. See the shape your hand. See the shape your finger took, right? Right. That's a much more natural position, and you have more thumb leverage. If your hand is more like this, right, instead of like this, then I have a lot more leverage on my finger from my thumb. Here, I almost have to use my whole arm. My thumb doesn't have as much control. And again, it fits in the hand nicer. There's less extra motion. Yeah, very good, very good, very good. Yeah, very nice, very nice, very nice. Is it about time? Okay. It is time. Okay. Very good job. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Very nice, very nice. Very nice sound, very nice sound. Have you ever done any Shrediak exercises? Shrediak.
No.
Okay. It's very simple. I want you to try this for me. So we're going to play A, B, C sharp, D, E on our A string. Okay, so I want you to hold every prior finger down as you do it. So you don't get to lift up any fingers until you're going back down the string.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, a little better, a little better. Are you feeling very nervous right now?
Kind of.
Okay, is that why you're shaking?
Maybe.
Is that why things are... There's always a little twitch, and you're not doing vibrato right now. Because part of the reason I'm getting into this is because when you vibrate, the whole violin does that, right? So what I'd like to do is I'd like to calm your fingers down, right? And I'd like your fingers to view themselves more, your whole hand, all four fingers, to view themselves more as a unit, right? So that you don't just throw your, because whenever you do vibrato, you have a very nice sound, very nice sound. Whenever you do vibrato, you throw your entire arm into it. Sometimes that happens because we're getting too focused on one finger, right? And it gets very tight. And then we have no choice but to shake like that. So I think divesting ourselves of that feeling, like think of when you play, you always want to think the whole hand moves together, right? Just one finger, just one part of the hand happens to be sticking out enough more than the others. Okay? So let's try this again. And I want you to, as much as possible, think of it as kind of a Zen sort of thing. Just very relaxed. Just as relaxed as you possibly can. You can split the bow up. Split the bow up. Make it easier for yourself. Good. When you put down your fourth finger, try to not squeeze so much. Matter of fact, try playing everything very too lightly. Believe it or not, I'm not actually pressing the strings down. Good. Okay. Even then, good. That is again. It's amazing how much sound we can get out without even pressing the strings down, which shows us how little we actually do have to press down the strings. But even then, when you went to your fourth finger, right, your whole hand goes into it, and your fingers are a lot too long for that. Some people have really short. My old teacher had his fourth finger was about that big, and he had figured out he was a brilliant violinist. He figured out some way to do this with his whole arm every time he played his fourth finger. It was actually really amazing. It was very mechanical. Right? He had figured that out. You don't have that problem, right? We don't have that problem. So can we put down our fourth finger without moving the whole hand into place? If you have to stop for half a second to figure out, to get your mind-muscle connection in order for your fourth finger, then do that. Okay, again, you almost had it, but you don't have to, like I said, you're allowed to stop. You're allowed to stop. If you have to sit there and think about how your fourth finger is going to move without moving the rest of your hand or your arm, right? Then do it. Yeah, keep the wrist still. Keep the wrist still. Keep the wrist still. You can do it. Move just, there it is. There it is. That's it. Yeah. And again. Yeah. Again, keep doing it. Now by yourself. Very good, very good. Okay, so that's going to save you a lot of trouble. All right, that's going to save you a lot of trouble. You actually play, considering you do all of this extra motion, you actually play fairly in tune, right, considering that. However, you're going to play even more in tune if you can keep your hand still. And your vibrato is not going to shake your sound so much, right? Okay, so could we now, let's go even slower, and let's just add in a tiny amount of vibrato. Good. Can you do even less? Good. Let me ask you. What is keeping your fingers in your hand when you vibrate from actually changing positions? What is keeping it? What is keeping it from changing positions? Right, and just going crazy. What's keeping it in place?
My thumb.
Your thumb. Good. Okay, that is the correct answer. Okay, that is the answer I was hoping for. I'm not quite sure it's doing its job as well as it could. Just can you hold the hand without the, and just vibrate just like this. Yeah. Okay. See how much more calm you are now, right? When you vibrate, than when you have the fingers down. Okay. That's the way you should be moving your hand when you actually have the fingers down. So don't let the fingers. So your thumb actually is doing its job. The fingers are getting in the way, which is kind of a problem because we need them, right? So put your first finger down, and just try to get that same feeling. There we go. Now the violin will show you. Okay. Yeah. There we go. Okay. It's going to be a much longer road to get to where you can have that kind of control as you're playing a piece of music. But I would suggest working on this, right? Because this, I think part of it, again, since you're throwing, even with the fourth finger, but probably with some of the other fingers, you're used to throwing more than just the thumb into the vibrato, right? The relationship of the left hand with the fingers down should be mostly the thumb and the fingers, right? The fingerboard becomes an extension of my thumb, right? When I put the thumb, if I do this, put the thumb here, it's the same feeling, right? Mm-hmm. If we have much else going into there, that's where we get in our own way, all right? Very good, very good. Going back to the piece itself, and it was very nicely played. I really like your sound, but I think I would like it to be more even, right? It's like you pick out certain notes, and then you give them a lot of energy, and then everything kind of falls by the wayside. I would like that energy to kind of be spread out along all of the notes. So could we go from the beginning, much slower, and just... Just distribute that arm weight, distribute that energy across all of the notes, right? Not just the one note that you really put all the bow speed into, okay? Okay, so, first note. You lost the sound right at the end, right? All of your notes are like that. You don't, just like we were talking about with the Mendelssohn, you're not following through to the end of the stroke, right? You've ever heard David talk about having like every note has a beginning, middle, and end? Did you talk about that? Okay. Every note, well, it's true. Every note has beginning, middle, and end. Sometimes we focus more on the beginning. Sometimes we focus more in the middle. Rarely does anyone focus enough on the ends of the notes, right? So you're focused entirely on the beginning of each note, but there's two other parts of the note. I want you to focus on the end. How does that end connect to the beginning of the next note? Okay? Very slowly, very slowly. Okay, that's a little better. That's some of the building blocks. Can we actually do it without, I know I did it with a stop. Do it without a stop. Pretty good, again. Okay, nice. So let's keep that. Just nice, even bow stroke. Keep going. Nice, very good. Okay. Now, can we do that with less effort? I feel like there's a lot happening, a lot of, again, that bow speed that you're so accustomed to right now, right? It doesn't take as much effort as you think. You just have to keep the friction of the hair on the string. And it doesn't take much for that to happen. Right? Try it again. Keep going. That's very good. Keep your torso still. Very nice. Very nice. Now, there's one more element here. Sounding point. Right? Most of the time when you lost the sound, it's because your bow wandered somewhere where it shouldn't, usually a little bit too close to the bridge. Right? So it's just about, if you really keep a consistent sounding point, if you really have control over that, again, that's actually less effort that you have to put into making sound. Right? It's when we lose that we tend to have those holes in our sound. Could you try it again, please? And think about that too. Keep going. Very nice, very nice. Could you do a little faster? And faster. So what's happening in the couple of notes that we lost? Is it the sounding point? Or the sounding point of the bow, or the friction?
Friction or maybe both.
Okay. All right, let's try it again. That was pretty good though. Good. Little faster. Bum, bum. Okay, pretty close. Now, I'm going to show you a little trick. So, friction has nothing to do with bow pressure, right? I can very easily, as you see here, I'm not pressing hardly at all. It has to do with a feeling we get in the fingers that makes sure that the rosin is connected to the string, right? Could you just try that? See if you can get the bow to click without pressing very hard. There we go, yeah. Okay, yeah, see, it doesn't actually take that much, right? So that's all we need to get the sound started, really. It's all about getting the sound started. And then, of course, as we talked before, we have to continue through the tone. Okay, try it again at that same tempo that we were just doing. Very nice. Okay, just so you know, and you should practice in front of the mirror a fair bit for the sounding point, right? So that's kind of the piece that's not quite staying, that's not quite fitting in right now. Okay. Otherwise, it's very good. Can we do this the first page with piano like this at that tempo? good, very good. That sounds, again, night and day. Night and day, night and day. Are we about time? Okay. One, very quickly, this applies to everyone. You might feel a little better if you stood with your feet slightly wider than your hips, right? You do this a lot, right? We want to have a center of gravity, right? So, and that's our spine typically, and then that sits nicely right in between our feet. And if we narrow that too much, then we get a little bit unstable. And even just for aesthetic reasons, it's better. But I also think it makes us play better. I think we feel better if we're a little bit more centered and grounded. All right, thank you very much. Very good.
Thank you.
Very nice, very nice, very nice. So there's just a couple of things that I'd like to talk about. Could you play the opening for me, just by yourself? By yourself, by yourself, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so the sound quality is not being evenly distributed across the strings as you're doing string crossings, right? So I'm going to do my best here. You have to be careful because you're tending to overplay a bit, right? You don't have to work so hard for your sound, right? So what you want to focus on is more the evenness of the sound, I think. So here, can you just do those two notes? Good, good, good. Even more like even motion towards the D string. Good, 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 good. So now maybe with less bow, and we just continue that ease of sound all the way through. Yes, yes. Now there's a musical line there, right? Or just the beginning of one. So now we just keep that going. We just keep that going, right? Right? Don't force it. Just cross even stroke. Ah, okay, right there. Okay, very good. What is the opening dynamic here? Piano.
Piano.
Okay, actually, interesting. You thought it was pianissimo, because you're playing like it's fortissimo, right? If we get to the point where we end up doing that in our sound, then I wonder what your conception of fortissimo is, right? If you thought that was pianissimo, it's piano. It's piano, solo piano, but it's piano. You don't have to force it. Can you just go from the G sharp to the F sharp? Yes! Yes, again, half of the battle is starting the note. The other half is just not doing anything else. Right? Don't force it. Don't force it. That was a lovely sound. From the beginning, please.
Okay.
Excellent. Keep going. Okay, good. That's enough. Night and day. Night and day. You know why? Because when you don't start, and sometimes it's just how we start things, right? When you don't start the piece trying to overdo the sound, and you just let it breathe, now your violin is resonating better, right? And when you do start to put in more sound, you maybe don't feel the need to force it as much, and so you're just allowing the sound to come out. And then we get this very beautiful musical line. Right? It was very, very nice. It was very, very nice. Much better, much better. You can apply that, of course, to the whole rest of the piece, right? There might be a few places where you could dig in a little bit, I think, especially on this piece, but especially at the beginning, and especially through the more melodic sections, pace it, right? And you can see the pacing written in here. Piano, mezzo piano, bunch of crescendos, till we get to where you just were, which is forte. Oh, no, there's the mezzo forte, right? Missed that one. Again, it's written in very clearly. Okay, the other thing that I would like to work with you on, kind of harkening back to the very first masterclass today, is I think you have a pretty good sense of where everything is in terms of like positioning, organization, stuff like that. I think you could heighten your sense of that even more, right? Especially in a piece like this, it's just so chromatic, for the intonation's sake, being very aware of exactly not just what position you're in, but what positions your fingers are in within that position, because every finger has a low, high, neutral position, right? Within the given hand positions. I would suggest going through a lot of these technical sections, and every shift, first shift def, as I say, so shift, where like I was talking to the first student, right? Shift without you listening to yourself. And see if your hand knows where it is, right? And then just, if it doesn't, fine, try it again. And then literally say out loud to yourself, I am in third position. I am in fifth position, right? Give yourself a very clear idea of order the fingerboard for yourself. Could we, just looking at this maybe this first part right here. So if I was to practice this myself, I'd say, okay, now I'm in third position. Did you shift there? Oh, you go, okay. You just stay, okay, fine. But if I was going to, I'd say I'm in fifth position. So now I'm back to first. Fourth. And so forth, right? And I would go through it systematically like that. Right, and similar to what I was talking about with, were you watching the me teach the Hungarian dance?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was talking about when he shifts, most of the time you should keep your hand essentially the same shape and just move in a straight line. Eventually, sometimes you have to get up here like this with the arm in front, but you want to practice, especially a lot of these shifts, just like this. And you do tend to do that, which is good, but just make sure of it, okay? So could we actually go through it this way, right? So starting, just start right there. Again, nice and slow, and every shift, I want you to just move the hand without playing. Say out loud what position you're in,
Okay.
and then keep going.
I'm in first. I'm in third. I'm in first. I'm in third. Half. Third.
It's
I don't know what
sixth
position.
position. Because the other thing, and we always know when we're about, usually up to fifth, maybe. When we start to get into the higher positions, sometimes we're actually, I have no idea where I am.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a good idea to be, okay, if I'm playing fourth finger on G, I'm probably in sixth position unless I'm stretching on my fourth finger. Right? Okay, right there, that's sixth position.
7.
That's eighth. If your first finger on the F, first finger on the F, is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
That's eighth.
Okay. 8.
Yeah.
10.
Yep.
11th.
Good. Very good. Okay, going through this, it just helps your mind organize where everything is, right? So that's going to be a big part of this. The other part of it is, of course, where do the fingers go within the position, right? So your intonation issues that you had there were not so much of an issue because of the shifting, right? Sometimes when we shift, this is why I talked about keeping the shape of the hand so important. Sometimes when we shift, we tend to compress our hand, which if you're going higher, a little bit of that, of course, is necessary. But it's not something you want to actually practice because often, especially when we shift back down, we don't know exactly how much our hand is. So generally, even I think I would don't worry about trying to size the hand as you go up to different positions. I think if you focus on, okay, what position the finger is, low, high, or neutral, and then just try to shift without compressing the hand, your fingers will find the spots more evenly. So let's go through this whole section again. And if we hear something out of tune, let's recalibrate the shape of the hand, all right? Same spot. And maybe play a little softer. Don't force the tone so much. Okay, very nice. So right there.
You just don't want me to say the position?
No, yeah.
Okay.
You should back home, but for now, don't have to do that. So your C sharp was a bit low.
Okay.
It's a bit low. Good. So again, we're not just shifting to C sharp. We're shifting to C sharp, D, and E. So again, the whole hand has to be there. Okay, could you do that again? D da, bo da, D da. Think about the shape. Bum, bum, bum. Again, do it again. Good. Your D sharp is a little low. Okay, too high. Okay, good. Let's work that out. Let's work out exactly where everything is so you know the hand shape. Okay, that's too high. That's too high in the D shape now. A little lower. There you go. Good. Good now. Okay. Don't lift up the other fingers. Just put 1, 2, 3. Don't do any vibrato. Just 1, 2, 3. Good. Okay. That's what you have to shift into. Now let's go back to. Good. Go on. Okay, good, good, good. So your second finger wasn't quite sure what it was supposed to be because you're still in third position, right? But your second finger is now in the lower position, right? So you're in actually it's probably more in the neutral position now. Both first and second actually. Right? So you have to think about that as you're going from here to there, okay? Start on that da-da-dee. Good, keep going. Okay, good. Again, I think it's worth, especially in this piece, getting picky about things. C natural, a little too high. So that's got to match your G, right? Good. Okay, so you hit it once and then it moved, right? So again, that's keeping that hand shape, right? Another reason why it's so important. If we move around too much as we're playing, even going across strings, we lose our sense of where everything is. We keep the hand very still. It's a lot easier to find that second finger. Okay, right there, please. Good. Yeah, that's right, that's right. Just start on the C natural. Just start on the C natural. Okay, good, good, good. Okay, so now we also have to have oral memory, right? That's C, and again, it's a completely different position, obviously. Not the same C you played earlier that we worked on, right?
Okay.
Not the same tone. So let's go back to here. Find that and keep going and see if we can get something at least fairly close to it.
Okay.
Closer. Okay, there we go. There we go. Closer. By the way, just for the sake of just training, like where everything is, if you tune that C to your G and this G is into with your G string, then you can also tune that to it as well. Now, being able to remember what a pitch sounded like enough to be able to match something to it, that's a very important skill because you can't always check with open strings, right? But in this case, you can. So that's one thing you can do to at least help yourself, help teach your ear to be able to do that. Okay, try it again.
Oops.
Okay, look, okay, so we're in sixth position. So we need to think, okay, what are the positions for all my fingers in sixth position? Obviously, we've got the fourth finger there, high third finger for more or less, high first finger, and neutral second finger. Yeah, so we're not, again, but that's why I say you always be very aware of what position, even if you're up in like 11th position, 13th position, 6th position, because we still have to think systematically about where our fingers go. Good, yeah, okay. Go back to this E here. Go on. Very nice, very nice. Now play through this entire section slowly, without stopping, but with this, all of this in mind. No stopping. If it's out of tune, it's out of tune. You can practice it more later, right?
Okay.
Very nice, very nice. So the part that was the most out of tune actually was this part, which was in first position, right? Okay. But a lot of this other stuff, what we see here, again, this takes some time to really have it sink into your playing. But what we see here now is that you're paying much closer attention to the shape of your hand and also how your hand navigates string crossings. That extra little bit of attention, applied to the entire piece and applied over, a few weeks of really focused practice, is what's going to take the intonation and the clarity of this to the next level, right? So overall, though, again, this is a crazy piece. I thought you did a very, very good job of it. I think this is how you need to, if you really want to take that, really, really take that to the next level, this systematic approach is how you want to do it. Okay? All right, is that about time? All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.